Hello and welcome to our presentation of Central Nervous System's serial lot track application. We will refer to this app as SLT app throughout this video. The purpose of this app is to help organizations complete their year-end inventory counts with greater ease than what normal MISys functionality would allow for. As you might have already experienced, if you're a serial lot tracking company, when you do a physical inventory count and use the physical inventory module in MISys, the lot number assignments are not very easily done. For example, if MISys thinks that you have 1,000 units of an item and you count and you find out that there is only 800, MISys will ask you to enter a lot number or multiple lot numbers only for the difference of the 200 between your counted physical stock and the digital stock that is in MISys. However, the reality might be a little bit more complicated than that. You might have to decrease quantities in a specific lot, increase quantities in another lot, and MISys does not allow that. So with that in mind, we have created the SLT app, which allows us to make these transactions automatically on the back end once we upload a physical inventory count sheet. However, before getting to that point, there is an area in MISys where we can see our transactions that we have failed to assign lot numbers. This is under stock control, serial lot tracking, assigned serial lot numbers menu. I will be referring to this menu as Neverland because these are the items that we have transacted with in MISys and failed to assign lot or serial numbers, and they have landed here, which means the quantity has been realized in MISys. So for example, this RM1005 item has been received from a supplier with a quantity of 125. That means in MISys, my stock quantity increased by 125, but because there were no assignments made in terms of lot numbers, my lot quantities did not change. So this created a discrepancy between my SLT or my lot quantity and my stock quantity. The first step the SLT app does is to fix these Neverland transactions. Because let's face it, if it has been more than a week or two, there is no way we are going to be able to manually assign lot numbers to these transactions, which I have seen in the past in certain clients, hundreds and hundreds of transactions missing lot number assignments. So the first step that the SLT app does is to remove these transactions superficially, because some of these transactions are actually needing to be realized in MISys only with a lot number or a serial number assigned to it. However, that superficial deletion or addition in the beginning step will then be walked back when we are uploading our Excel file, which has all of our stock quantities available. So let's go in through and see how the SLT app works. We can launch the app and we can log in, and we are entering our MISys credentials and logging into the app. Like I said, the first step is to fix Neverland. That is referred to as NNL, Neverland fix. I click on that, and what the system is doing is going through those items and those transactions that were in that menu we were looking, and giving me a list of the adjustments that it needs to make, calculating once those adjustments are made, what is my ending inventory going to be, comparing it to my current inventory, showing me the change in inventory valuation. In this case, my inventory is going to have to drop by $122 worth, and the absolute change is $574. There's an obvious difference between change in inventory and absolute change in inventory because of some offsets making the net a smaller number than the absolute. I can actually print this on screen or export it to Excel and see what are those changes that are going to take place. In the case of the RM1000 item we were looking, it is going to drop my inventory by 125. Remember, this is a superficial change because in reality, we did receive this item through a purchase order. However, because MISys doesn't have a lot number for it, it doesn't have a way of assigning that lot number. So it says, okay, as a first step, I'm going to get rid of this. So now my lot quantity and my stock quantity will match. But when I upload my Excel file, which is the result of my physical inventory count, this 125 should appear there, or whatever is remaining of it should appear there, and we should be able to add that back into inventory. However, this time with the corresponding lot number, because that information will be captured during the inventory count. So when we audit that adjustment report, we can just click adjust inventory, and MISys, or rather the central nervous system's SLT app, will take a few moments to make sure those transactions are conducted in the back end. And upon completing those transactions, we will see that the numbers on our screen will turn to 0 as well in MISys user interface. If we were to go look at the Neverland menu, we will see that there are no more items in that menu. Here, as you can see, the app completed the first stage. All of the numbers being set to 0. Adjust inventory button has been grayed out. And let's look in MISys. We can toggle between a different menu, come back to the assign serial lot numbers menu, which is the Neverland, and it is blank. We no longer have any transactions missing lot number or serial number assignments. So we can go back to the app, click next. We get a confirmation message telling us the stock quantity and SLT quantities now have been synchronized or balanced. We go next. It is important that in the next step, which is when we are going to upload our physical inventory count sheet, the count sheet adheres to a specific format. It's an Excel file, and the column headers have to be very specifically as this template is showing us. So if we don't have that template available, we can click download, and it automatically downloads it, and we can use that template to enter our inventory count. We can click next. Next step is to upload our count sheet. So we can click upload. We can go find our upload file where our inventory is in Excel. We'll get a confirmation message saying that file has been uploaded. And if we wanted to see that Excel file, what that looks like, it's simply a 4-column Excel file where we are item numbers, locations, serial lot numbers, and corresponding quantities. If we look at that RM1005, you will notice that we are saying we found 125 of this in location 2 under a specific lot number. So even though in the first step we had to dump out that 125 to synchronize SLT quantity and stock quantity, now on the second step we're bringing that back, and yet this time with a specific lot number, so that the synchronization will not be broken. We also have to select the job number here, and we can click next. Once the app is able to analyze the Excel file we have uploaded, it tells us what the inventory deletions are going to be, what the additions are going to be, what the net is, and what is the absolute change. Once again, we can either export it Excel or print it and be able to see all of the changes that are going to take place, audit that, and when we're ready, we can click adjust inventory, and we will have our inventory adjusted so that whatever was on that Excel file that we have uploaded will become automatically our inventory in MISys, where the stock quantities and lot quantities are matching exactly one another. Once again, our inventory has been adjusted. the numbers have been set to 0 because there is no more additions or deletions to be made. Our beginning inventory and our ending inventory are shown to us, and an adjust inventory button has been grayed out, and we can click next and get our confirmation message that now our serial lot tracked items inventories have been set to be 100% accurate. It is important to note that these adjustments were done for only serialized or lot tracked items and not for common items. That has to be carried out as an additional step, whether through the SLT app or directly in MISys physical inventory module, because when there are no lot numbers or serial numbers to be assigned, it's pretty straightforward. Additional comments, whatever we are loading into MISys as our Excel file that is showing our physical inventory, we need to make sure that none of those items are set as inactive in MISys. There should not be any WIP or reserve quantities because SLT app will not adjust for those, and there should be no negative quantities. Those are very important 3 considerations to take into account before using the SLT app. I hope this presentation has provided value for you, and please feel free to contact Central Nervous Systems if you have any questions. Thank you for your time.